The word temple weaves through all of the scripture today. Ezekiel's vision of a temple that was just so life-giving, that the grace flowing from that sacred space meant life for everything that touched those waters. It's a beautiful image of life-giving grace. Jesus walks in to the temple of his day. And as we learn, 46 years under construction. And he talks about a new temple of his own body. He doesn't say that, but that's what he's talking about. That this sacred space, the temple, should be a place of prayer. It should be sacred. And people were using the temple to make money. It was a legitimate thing to sell the animals for sacrifice. But probably extortion was going on in the midst of all that. And Jesus had seen enough. In the other three Gospels, this scene takes place right before he gets crucified. In the Gospel of John, it's in chapter 2. It's like this is one of the first things he did after changing water into wine, which everybody liked. But the next thing he's doing something that nobody liked. They didn't like him coming in here, upsetting everything, literally. But zeal for your house consumes me. Paul, some decades later, picks up on that theme so well when he reminds us that we are the temple of God. That this is the temple where God's Spirit dwells in us, the church, ecclesia. Yes, there are sacred places in the world. And today, the sacred place of the Cathedral of Rome is the dedication of that, is what we're celebrating. With deep meaning for the people of Rome and for the Bishop of Rome. It's his church, it's his cathedral. And it's a symbol of the whole universal church. For St. Francis of Assisi, the Church of St. Mary of the Angels, Porciuncula, the little chapel, that was his sacred place. And yet we know from Francis that what's holy is not limited to churches. Francis especially saw what's holy in everything that God had created. And yet there is something about a church. There is something about a place that's particularly dedicated to the people coming together and praying. Before I sent the children out, every one of their answers was right. That's a good thing. Yes, the church is made of walls. And yes, a church has a roof. I thought maybe somebody would say stained glass windows. When they look around, or lights. The final answer was the best answer. Henry looked around, like I asked them to do. What's the church made of? And what was his answer? People. The people. And you even applauded that, which I applaud. Yeah, we have got to keep believing that the church is the people. Father Jim here, who worked in Jamaica all those years, one of the churches that the Franciscans ministered to for many years is in a place called Savannah Lamar. The building is gone. The church building is totally gone. But the church is not gone. And I remember hearing a pastor one time on the news when the church building had burnt to the ground. He immediately said, but the church is alive. The church is fine. We don't have that building anymore, but the church, the people of God, are doing just fine. And that's Paul's understanding that we are the church. As much as we love our spaces where we gather to pray, it's not central to who we are. The foundation on which the church is built is Jesus Christ. That is central to who we are as church. And where the Spirit of Christ dwells in the hearts of God's people, that's the church. And we keep gathering Sunday by Sunday to celebrate and to continue to try to be on this pilgrimage. My kind of thought about the church, it's a pilgrim people. We're journeying together toward deeper communion with God. The beauty of a building can help us do that, but that's not the essence. We together, holy people, because the Spirit dwells in you, journeying together toward a deeper communion with God. And that we continue to seek day in and day out, not just when we gather on Sunday, but wherever we are, all the time, perceiving the beauty and the wonder of God all around us. Yes, the Church of St. John Lateran. The Lateran means there was a family by the name of Lateran who donated the land. If you're rich enough and donate the land for a church, you might have a church with your name on it, your family name. Wouldn't that be something? The Fisher, you know. St. John, well, there is a St. John Fisher, but that's not named after you. But it's not ultimately the building. And what they're celebrating in Rome today at the cathedral, beautiful as it is, magnificent as that building is, rebuilt time and time again, and all that it symbolizes about who we are as a universal church, it's just as important that we're gathered here in this sacred space. And we are dedicated to the ongoing growth and development of our faith and the faith of one another. Yes, Henry was right, most right. Walls and roof were correct answers too. But Henry had it, he nailed it. Looking around, what is the church made of? The people. And this is the beauty of God's temple.